Hey, we're here in the Tahoe, like I promised yesterday, if you were watching, all 5 of you. No, I know you're watching because somebody texted me after the fact and was asking what property was coming on, so thank you, you know who you are. Look at this. You've got a little bit of a different angle today for our Tahoe Talk. You can see the sign in the back, a true realtor's vehicle. Thank you very much. And as promised, for today's Tahoe Talk, here's Chelsey.
Agent Smith is in the Tahoe.
Hashtag Agent Smith. So Chelsey is a bit of a rock star. She's a little famous in the realtor world. I'm going to grab this. Here she is. Look at her. She made the cover of the Nicer Realtors magazine. And so we're doing a little Tahoe Talk with you today. Chelsey, this is your second year.
It is my second year.
Chelsey's on the Hart and Holmes team, of course. Hart and Holmes, Agent Smith, second year in real estate, and you're already making the cover of magazines.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell all the people?
All the people. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks.
For tuning in. Look at this. Yeah, we got the Tahoe on. It's a whopping 28 today, so we got to have the heat on. You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I'm like overheating
It's
now.
so warm in here, I had to take my coat off. It's better driving that way anyway. So, how are you liking real estate so far, being on the Hart and Holmes team? You're kicking butt this year.
I'm loving
it.
it.
4 listings or 5 listings. She's working with buyers.
I am. We just brought on a fixer-upper that went very quickly. So I'm really excited to see how that buyer kind of...
Seriously, you bring on a listing and you're like, the next day, she goes, I got a new listing. She's like, oh, I have a contract. I'm like, what is going on? She seriously brings a property on, and then it's like almost like you talk to the neighbor and they're like, oh, it's under contract, or somebody drove by it.
I have had that happen where I talked.
It's like under contract the next day. She's like a listing queen here.
Well, I've noticed I really enjoy the listing side, but I also... I really don't have a preference though. I love working with sellers. I love working with buyers. And, you know, when you work with a seller and you bring in a purchase contract and you go under contract, you get to see the joy of, and sadness, you know, because they're
good
moving.
And bad.
Yes.
There's good and bad to this.
Yeah, but they are happy that they're under contract. And then when you're working with buyers and they find the perfect home, and so you get the best of both worlds. So it's been really great so far. Definitely have got my fulfill of challenges. Yeah,
everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Chelsey started as our admin, and she's like, I'm gonna get my license. I said, fantastic. She saw everything we were doing. I was like, are you prepared for
I've definitely
bad with the good?
Yeah.
So
I've definitely seen my yeah.
We just threw you in. You've dealt with like almost every challenge that could come to us in this industry in your first 2 years.
Yeah.
Pre-possessions, post-possessions, mortgages falling through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see?
Issues with inspections and now titles.
Addresses.
Oh boy.
Address numbers not matching in the assessment department. Yeah, good stuff.
That's a new one for attorneys too.
Yeah. So, all that title work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but you were featured in this magazine. And I'm going to talk about that because what were you talking about in this magazine? You got interviewed by the New York State Association of Realtors.
Yes.
For being, your first year in real estate?
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. Well, they wanted to interview a new licensee with their broker and kind of get an idea of how leadership and mentoring is helping myself as a newbie in the business. Also with Melissa with Remax, she kind of described the changes and how real estate has changed since, well, I won't say the year, when she first started.
in 97?
So, and she kind of mentions how back then you had to flip through a book that came out weekly or monthly to see what new listings were on, and how everything has changed.
There was no Zillow.
No.
You couldn't search online for houses. You had to go to a realtor. They were the only ones that knew about what was on the market. And then you had to wait until they got you the info, and you got one picture, in the book, and then you had to go look at the house. There was no browsing houses
Yeah.
online. There was no MLS. There were no realtor. Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
Just in 10 years. And
I
then,
couldn't
right?
even imagine. I mean, looking at the market now, there are so many homes coming on the market right now that if we had to go by a book, there's no way we'd be able to keep up. I mean, I was just on the market, or on the MLS this morning. 9 new listings came on.
9 new listings. It's January 29th.
Spring has sprung in January.
Well, by the weather, you wouldn't think
No.
of it, but yeah, the real
It's
estate.
28 degrees. It's
As
freezing.
I have my seat heater on. No, but real estate, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
know, right?
crazy. Buyers are, so last year, my first year in real estate, the market was really slow. Buyers were waiting for that perfect property. And it seems like there's more properties. The inventory is much higher than it was last year. And buyers are more determined to get that house and lock it down. And which is good for both buyers and sellers. Sellers, there's buyers out there looking, and buyers, don't be hesitant. Your dream home could be on the market right now, and if you don't get it, someone else will.
That's, interest rates are still really low. Inventory is starting to bounce back. We've had like a year and a half, almost 2 years of low inventory, and demand is still there. And let's be honest, we live in an area that's in high demand, and we live in an area of high land values, so it's always a great investment when you buy real estate around here, as long as you take care of that investment. So yeah, and you're starting to notice that. Your first year was a little sluggish, just getting out there, and now you're rocking and rolling. I mean, you're on the magazine cover. Come on, it's your second year. Agent Smith. How'd you feel about your first? This wasn't officially your first Tahoe. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It was a Tahoe Talk when you came with me to Albany.
It was a kind of a Tahoe.
I don't think it was like really, truly.
No.
Was
We
it?
just talked in the Tahoe.
This one. Yeah, so this is sort of like, that was like your debut Tahoe
It
Talk.
was.
This is like your official.
First Tahoe Talk.
Or now you're.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. It's official.
I like it.
Agent Smith. Buyers, look her up. Sellers, get her in there to interview. Clearly, she can sell houses because it happens in a matter of days when she puts her sign on the ground. It's crazy. She's got the magic touch. Look her up, Agent Smith. Hashtag. Thank you, Chelsey.
Absolutely.